Good evening from Europe. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, guys. Piotr here. This is Light Forex Global YouTube channel. It's a Friday, 12th of February 2021. It's almost end of the New York session. Well, we haven't seen any kind of the fireworks this week, probably mostly because of the very long Chinese bank holiday. Well, we have to add also the US bank holiday the next Monday. Well, so I've been thinking, what shall we discuss? And to be honest with you, the metal market, it's something I found out very interesting. So let's start with the weekly gold chart. Well, if you do remember, for a quite long time I already been saying that as long as we are below 1950, 2000, we should see lower levels. How low shall we go? Well, in my opinion, we might see 1700 as well as 1600. That's medium long term. Now, when it comes to the latest price action, we should switch to the daily chart. And here, well, after the previous week retest of the most recent low, right, we've seen some kind of the bounce. The thing is that what I see today is a failure of latest range to the downside, right? So we've seen attempt to go higher, and to be honest with you, I've been thinking to sell rallies toward 1880, 19, but it didn't materialize, right? Yesterday and today we've seen, when it comes to the gold, retest of the weekly open. Of course, the market is fighting right now at that level, right? Weekly open, and it's gonna, I'm very curious what we are going to see when it comes to the next week open, right? Because again, even from the daily chart perspective, that's the range, that's the mid of that range. Well, we should see lower levels to come as long as below 1950, 2000 when we are discussing the gold. All right, so let's switch to the silver. Here, last couple of days, it was very interesting, mostly because of the price action determined by the guys related to the Reddit group, right? So we hit some stops. Well, if you do remember, we were discussing that as long as we are below some certain levels, we should see lower levels. Well, of course, we couldn't expect the things related to the Reddit traders, right? Robinhood traders, that we are going to see higher levels. Anyway, well, we've seen the stop count above 30, all right? But market is trying to settle, taking into the consideration last few days, market is trying to settle below 30 and even more important, below 28. Okay, so now what's the lesson? We have to remember Reddit traders group, right, that might push higher, but also if you are going to make some kind of the measures, right, here and here towards the upside, so we made two equal waves to the upside. Now I do expect this type of the move to the downside. I do expect that 23 might be treated as a target. Now, just to explain quickly, I did expect prices below 20. If you do remember, we were discussing that based on the price action before Reddit group pushed the price higher, right? When we are here, based on 1 to 1, I've been expecting prices to go below 20, testing this type of the consolidation 50% down to 1850. Now, of course, because of what has happened lately. I did evaluate the possible scenarios, all right, and as of now, based on this stop count over here, I do expect again some kind of the lower levels to come, right? Now, I did not expect levels below 20, but I do expect 23, 22 to be tested fairly quickly. The next one is Palladium, all right? Here we are trying to honor the big range, right? Well, lately we're talking about the small range, half of that being tested, and then we've seen the move to the downside. Well, in that case, I still believe that upside is very fairly limited, 2,450, 2,500, and the downside is limited to 2,200, 2,150. So when it comes into that particular Palladium chart, we are within the range, and we are going to trade that range. As of now, half of that range is taking into the consideration. I would try to fade upside, I would try to fade downside, trade the range. That's the name of the game. Finally, Palladium, sorry. Oops, 1 second. All right. Holy, oh. Platinum, yeah, that's what I've been talking about. Anyway, if you do remember Platinum, we were discussing the break to the upside based on what we've seen here, lower levels, huge rally, right? Half of that being tested, rally, half of that being tested, rally, right? I still think 1,500, that's the name of the game for the Platinum, taking into the consideration what we were discussing previously. Well, guys, sorry, I'm not gonna repeat every time the same things. You have to go back and check the previous videos, right? But as of now, that latest consolidation and 1,100 eventually taking into the consideration this pullback could be the name of the game. So top of that consolidation, 11,100, 11,150, I would consider as a buying opportunity when it comes to the Platinum, right? The bulls are in charge here, and don't be in a rush to try to short that market. 1,500 final target at least, based on what we discussed for quite some time. Guys, it was my pleasure to prepare this market metals update for ya. Take care and see you around. Good night.